Oh shit, yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, bro, fuck that. All right, I think your audio should be fine. I'm trying to get some Dokkan gameplay, everyone. So forgive me. All 15, all 3.5 people.
Can you drop a stream link in chat?
Yeah. Give me
Or
a
in general?
second. Yeah, here. Actually. Sometimes it doesn't pop up for me right away on my own fucking channel. I hate that. Oh, never mind. It is. It's up right now.
I got a notification on my phone.
Oh.
Damn, you capitalized Adam, but not Vector, bro.
Did I not capitalize Vector? Am I a fucking fraud?
Yeah.
I'm a fraud. Sorry, Vector. If you're Dokkan World would have a field day with that. His lowercase showcase shit.
Oh, I saw on Twitter, Truth kind of beefed out Dokkan World again.
Yeah, they did. I feel like they're always beefing it out though. I don't necessarily have a problem with
didn't
what.
used to.
I don't necessarily have a fucking problem with what Dokkan World does. I think it's fine if it's like an easy A or some shit like that, right? Like, but if it's a brand new character, it's like okay, probably don't show it off. I think that could be scummy, right?
I mean, it's kind of dog eat dog there, but I mean, I get what Truth says with the private server stuff. I do actually agree with a lot of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, where the transformation condition's different, it actually will make, if it is different, it will make a big difference in gameplay. But I don't know. He goes a little bit too hard with the private server stuff. I mean, we know that it's all legitimate and all. Oh, I've got to turn the sound off. Stream scissors on it. Have it off. Nice.
Okay,
we know that it's all legitimate.
Yeah.
So.
Wonder why my video captured. I just want to play some fucking Dokkan on stream. Is that too much to ask for, OBS? Is that like an impossible task for you or something? I don't get it. I don't get it, OBS. I don't get it. Bro, I hate OBS. Actually, you know what? It's not even OBS. This is fucking capture card. This capture card sucks. All right, let me share this link around Twitter. Did you make a new account, or are you just like kind of just there? All right, let me see. So I think. Right. Oh shit, Vector's in here. Cool, huge. Vector, I'm so sorry, dude. So sorry for the inconvenience, man. I'm sure it's like a. Oh, you said tight, like as in you just got off of work. And
I just had like a bit of a hard cutoff time for about 7:30 CST.
That's fine. There's no way this takes more than like 2 hours.
Yeah, it'd have to go for an hour and a half, which is unlikely.
That's fine. That's completely fine with me. We can get it done.
All right.
Okay.
I was gonna say we are live. Hopefully, I might share it in the chat too.
I can post it. Should I post that link in a few chords?
Yes, please. Yes, sir. Oh my goodness.
Post on Twitter, bro.
Twitter.
Yeah, I'll post on Twitter too.
Yeah, I'll share it in one of the. There we go.
I think Future said he was gonna watch.
Oh God, what the hell?
Oh my God, Future the goat. Future always shares my stuff, man. I love that guy. He always retweets.
Yeah, Future's a great lad.
Hey,
Bit of a silly twat sometimes, but.
Wish I'd be able to actually talk to him at one point, but okay. So Alan, not Alan. Fuck, dude. Vector, do you know how to get the Discord overlay onto OBS?
Do what?
Get the Discord overlay on OBS. Oh, Future, welcome in, man.
Oh, like the voice chat thing?
Yeah, like how where the names pop up and shit like that.
You'd probably just have to add a window. I'd imagine you just have to add a window capture for it.
A windy capture? I wonder if I.
Like basically just like the same way you'd add like a Chrome tab or something.
Yeah.
Future, what's your squad looking like on FIFA right now, bro?
Oh, ain't no way we're talking about FIFA right now, bro. FIFA, that money.
That bro's got like Mbappe, Haaland. Fucking sweaty little squad.
That money hungry piece of shit. I hate that game.
FIFA's alright.
I hate all
I don't really
sports
play it
games,
much.
frankly. I'm just not a big fan of sports games, so maybe I just shouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about it one way or another.
Sports, I just think I will say I think sports games are egregious with how they implement ads into their shit, bro. I just frankly, sorry,
I
that's
think
just
that's
what
funny.
it is.
My thing with sports games is it just feels like it's like not always, but like the vast majority of the time, isn't it just kind of the same shit each year?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Pretty
Grinding
much.
FIFA whilst listening, bro. Get this, man.
It's like if I was
British
interested
people,
in
bro.
sports, I'm sure I'd like the sports games, but I'm not, so I don't think I would. So
Yeah, I mean, I like
Um,
basketball and shit like that, but I wouldn't want. I just think it's egregious that you spend $60-$70 on a game, and then they also load it in with ads, so they're just getting extra fucking money while you're playing. Like, I just think that's so fucking gross. And
that's funny. Welcome to MLB the Show, sponsored by Coca-Cola.
bro, and there's microtransactions too, bro. Like people play
True.
Dokkan. They summon on gotchas in those games as well. It's just like how scummy.
Gotchas are still worse. Like Dokkan just is a microtransaction.
Yeah, yeah. True,
Hmm.
true. Is who okay? I don't know. I won't be able to see. I don't want to be on stream because it'll ruin the audio and shit like that. But how are we sounding? Like, does everyone sound balanced well? This is a pre-show, so I guess.
I think it sounds right, doesn't it?
End of the year is nuts. They be giving good shit out for free. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Who fucking cares, bro? It's a sports game. I'm not gonna be hype. Well, I guess Nessie would be one of the more hype pools on FIFA or whatever the fuck, right?
Messi, yeah. Actually, I don't know. In recent FIFAs, I kind of don't like playing Messi. I haven't played it any of the recent
Shah.
Messis. But
Okay, yeah, you guys sound fine. Okay, Shaw now.
So
I'm not
sports
fucking.
games
What
have
the fuck
pools
is Shah?
now,
I don't
huh?
know. Shah, close the stream, bro. Leave us alone.
Because like the only sports like my little brother, both of my little brothers are into sports and they
Mhm.
like sports games. But the only one I've ever played with one of them, like it already had everyone in it. You didn't like pull for anybody.
Yeah, this is the most I've had on a YouTube stream
This
ever.
was
Holy
like
shit.
this was like 20 years ago though, because it was like MLB 05 the show.
Yeah, fuck. Oh my god, they're playing. That's even worse. I'm so sorry, but baseball as a sport, like that's fucking worse. That
Shay.
is worse, bro.
Bro, I've always read your name as Shah.
Wait. It's Shay, not Shaw.
Oh, it's
Really?
I did not know that. Hold on, let me post this stream link in a few chords.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll post it in my chord.
That's
I'll
actually
post
so
it in
nuts.
I'll
All right.
post it in Dgens.
So once it hits 6 p.m. or around like I say like 6:55, we'll introduce ourselves. We'll introduce our arguments. I really wish I could get this overlay up, but it's fine. I don't know how to do it. I don't give a fuck anymore. So
No, Shah, I didn't read it wrong. You typed it wrong, bro. There's not a Y in it.
yeah, exactly, bruh. Put a Y in it next time if you want to read that way. Shah. Like that's exactly where everyone's mind. You're gonna say that on Twitter, like, guys, you've been pronouncing my name wrong the entire time, and everyone's gonna be like, no, you're just stupid for not putting like a Y behind it. Everyone is gonna pronounce it as Shah, not Shay.
I don't care. I don't care what Shaw says. I'm still saying Shaw.
Yeah, I'm calling him Shah still.
I don't care if it's wrong. I'm still saying Shaw.
That's my real name, buddy. Well, I don't know what to tell you, bruh. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a confusing ass
Your name isn't real to me.
Yeah. I know you from Twitter and Discord, and that's about it, bruh. That's about it. It's spelled that way in my birth certificate. You gotta get that shit changed, my man. Or at the very least, like, if you want it pronounced that way, like, do it on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, say it on Twitter, I guess. If you want to pronounce that way. That's just me, though. That's just me. Welcome in, everyone. Holy crap.
You got to add that Y.
Yeah, you have to add that Y, bro.
You got to add the Y if you want people to see the vision.
Sounds like your parents don't know how to spell. Okay, let's see.
True.
So we all understand what we're arguing today. I'm pretty sure me and Vector are on the same side here.
I've only kind of glanced. I'm pretty sure we're just doing the AGL Blues versus Ulton.
I think,
well, also
um,
like whether or not the Blues are like good, because I think that kind of correlates. We can compare them to different units if you want to.
Fine, that's fine. Like as far as whether they're good or like good, I'm pretty sure Alan and me will just mostly agree.
Yeah.
yeah, I think the first
Well,
proposition is probably going to be like their efficacy, like how good they are, certain ways, and then I'm probably going to go into Olhan versus them. To be honest.
okay. Well, I always thought that there was like a miscommunication as to why they were good between all of us, or between Alan and I. So, oh my God, does Alan
Sure, yes,
actually
I do,
think
yeah.
Ulton? Yeah, he does.
Because I've already said that.
Bluos.
I, had a
I
list
mean,
of
but
them.
listen, I'm just gonna say this. I think Alan, any chance he gets, if there's even like a slight weakness in a unit, he's gonna try and find a way to put Ulton above them.
Bro, this unit doesn't have I mean, we'll talk about it later, but this unit doesn't have a slight weakness. They are genuinely not good stat wise in a lot of ways. That's just it.
Tough. Hard.
I'm
disagree.
sorry that I'm like giving Alhan a fair ground to stand on and not just assuming the shittiest situation.
I hate you, bro.
Shaw hates you.
Yeah, he's a little bit delusional, so I don't really care.
Well, he also hates Ma Jr. So
Exactly. Although I'm starting to agree with what you said. I think Majuni is slightly becoming a Twitter clip unit. I can't lie. He is a little bit. People only posting his best turns and not the turns where he.
Okay. I'll say this when it comes to that. These new stages of like Rose, they are like the first time I've ever seen Ma Jr. die post super. I'll say that much.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think death is like a.
I guess it happened a couple times against like Sin and Metal Cooler Core, but like that's type disadvantage, so he like kind of gets a pass for that, sort of. Although he could still live them, but
yeah. I think it's mainly the issue is people only showing the active turn.
Did the war start? Not yet. It's about to. We're gonna start around like 6. We're gonna try and let people trickle in. We're just having a general discussion right now.
I mean, in general,
Welcome,
I think the active turn isn't as strong as I thought it was for Ma Jr. I thought the stats were way better, but because you lose the high chance.
When I calced it, it came out a bit lower than I expected to as well.
It's because losing the high chance and only having the medium.
It's because of the triple super. It's because he can only triple super. If he could quad super, it would be pretty insane.
Yeah,
like it is still insane, but
well, I feel like I've gotten quad supers with. I mean, I guess not regularly, right? But like, I feel like I have gotten them with Ma Jr.
on his active turn, like when you slot 1.
Oh no, not slot 1, not slot 1, not slot 1, not slot 1. Okay, yeah. I thought we were talking about slot 2.
I mean, if you do it, just slot 2 is active turn still isn't that strong.
Bozo Dokkan versus oh come on, man, that's mean.
All I know is I asked Kaiser whether he does active slot 1 into slot 2 or active slot 2 into slot 1. He says if there's a hit in slot 1, he always does active slot 2 into slot 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably his best turn stat wise, but it's just not that high. It's not as high as you think it is.
All you Allen haters in the chat right now, guys, okay? Listen, I'm also joining in this debate. This is going to be my first Dokkan debate ever, so hopefully things aren't as chaotic.
Bozo Dokkan 3 versus Fraudulent, but that's just me twice.
Yeah,
I'm not versing myself, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Alan's greatest enemy is himself.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. That dude, I mean, how many times he's gotten flagged on Twitter and banned?
True.
Sometimes.
Look.
He's on the run from the Twitter police.
They are on your ass, bro. They're just waiting for you to make another account so they can flag it as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
They got their spies ready and primed.
Yeah, bro. I called out Elon a while ago. That's why I bet.
Oh yeah, Elon is
Elon. My account.
Elon, I wouldn't put past Elon, bro. If some random ass dude from a niche community like hurt his ego like that, bro, I would not be surprised. he's got bots fucking spam flagging your account and shit. I would not be surprised at all.
I think I don't know. It's weird how Elon Musk has just become so hated within the past 5 years.
It's because
he was usually quite like.
I had no opinion on Elon Musk whatsoever until the Twitter shit. But once the Twitter shit happened, I'm just like, okay, this guy's just freaking stupid. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just because
this guy's just stupid.
It's just because he's done like some he's just stupid. Like like
before the
he
Twitter
made
stuff, I just didn't keep up with him, so I had no opinion. But
he
like,
makes a lot of promises that he never ever like kept. He like there was a one point where some dude actually like was drowning because I think it was a kids or I think it was a dude or some kids. It was either a kids or some dude. But he was like, I can make a submarine and then we can dig them out that way. And then everybody was like, dude, you're fucking stupid. Like, no, that would not work ever. Like, he's just done a lot of really stupid shit, bro.
Yeah.
the Twitter stuff is where but before
don't
the
actually
Twitter
hate any
stuff,
of these
I was
guys.
just like, before the Twitter stuff, I was just like, I don't really follow Elon Musk enough to have an opinion on him. But after the Twitter stuff, which I was forced to follow because I spend too much of my life on Twitter.
Yeah.
After that stuff, that's where I'm like, okay, this guy's just fucking stupid.
Yeah. No, he is. He's always been stupid though. He's always been stupid. I'm gonna read some chat for a little bit, and then we'll get started on the actual debate and stuff like that. Because Vector is on a tight schedule, so I don't actually hate any of these guys. Good for them. They can stick to their own opinions. I do like that about them. They're funny. They do it funny too. Like I think Alan copes sometimes with Beast Gohan, but he's a good unit. Like no doubt about it. I do think he's top 10.
Zero coping.
I will say this about Alan, like I don't always see eye to eye to him on Beast Gohan, but
like
like
the
he
big
is
African
right
suburb
that
of
like for a
Asia.
very long time Beast Gohan was just massively underrated.
The French.
And
Yeah, we talked about
I
this.
think he's right about it. It's because of the YouTubers. They all said he was shit, and so Twitter is just like, yep, okay, we agree he's shit.
Yeah, that's my opinion too. I think I think the truth did some damage to Beast Gohan. I don't have anything. I don't have any problem with the truth in himself.
How
but
will this affect Beast Gohan's legacy?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Well, I think what's it? Nano talked about it as well. He kind of said something about it.
Everyone
Said the
did.
same thing. Like
Everyone.
I don't
Yeah.
even know about Nano. I barely follow Nano anymore. Like he was like my first Dokkan tuber. Then I kind of moved on to Truth, and nowadays I just don't even watch Dokkan YouTube usually.
Beast
Yeah.
Gohan been #1. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. Unfortunately. All right,
No,
so
he's massively underrated.
let's get this debate started, boys. If you're down, so first we're going to introduce ourselves. I'm sure the community already knows who you guys are, but we're gonna do that anyway. And we're going to introduce what kind of topics we're bringing into the conversation and what our main points are and what we're trying to drive home to each other. So, Vector, you can go ahead and go first.
All right. Well, I'm Vector. I post my Dokkan opinions on the Tweeterbird website, and people get really mad at them usually. So there you go.
Alan,
Should I go now?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Alan. I got banned off Twitter twice. I might be on again. I don't know. We'll see.
Why did you get banned on Twitter, Alan? What could have possibly done that, man?
Inciting violence. Both times, actually.
He said
Oh,
Super
no.
Saiyan Blue Kaioken fans should be beheaded.
That one I get. That one I actually understand why I got banned for that. The first one was like a Dragon Ball gift, and I said I'd do
Yeah,
it
that
for
one was
Deku,
stupid.
and I got banned for that.
Yeah, I
No.
think
That's
you
stupid as hell.
like added Truth, and you were like, "Watch your back, bro."
Yeah.
No, that's not even what got me banned. It was just the Deku one where I was like, it was during beating up Goku or something.
Bro, I've seen some
and
some
apparently
crazy ass
that's just
Alan shit.
violence.
I don't understand how I mean, I'm just gonna say it and then we'll get started. I don't understand how you and Future can say the shit that you do about each other's mothers on Twitter and not and still have a Twitter account, bro. It's
Nah, we
fucking
get away
hilarious.
with it. It's fine.
I do enjoy the British slur fights that Alan
Yeah.
and Future.
Oh
get
my
into.
god, it's so fucking hilarious. Well, for you guys who don't know, my name is Oni. Obviously, you're on my channel watching my stream, so I would hope you guys do. If you're new here, also, try and subscribe. I do try and make quality content here over on YouTube. It really does help out the channel. And today I'm going to be talking about the Blues being a good unit and better than Ultimate Gohan. Unlike Alan here, like what he says. So, what would we?
Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, or else I'll say your favorite unit is worse than PyCon.
Ooh, oh, yeah, that's definitely sub for that, guys. That's terrible. That's a terrible ass fate. I'm still pissed that she didn't put Gohan over Metacooler, but that's fine. All right, so what do you guys?
I can see it either way. I can see it either way.
He's objectively better, but whatever. What are you trying to argue today, guys?
I mean, like in terms of this first section of the debate, I don't think me and Alan will have much to argue about. I think we kind of agree on like the general placement of these
I
guys.
don't. I don't know if we do, bro. No,
Maybe
I
not.
have
We'll
low.
see. We'll see.
I
I
would
can
say.
lay out my like thoughts on this unit if you want. I'll do it
Go
quick.
ahead.
Yeah,
Go
definitely.
ahead. I'll
Um,
interject if I have any issues.
So I would just want to go out of the way and say the Vegito Blue part is obviously very good. Like it's top unit in the game, no denying that. I don't think the numbers are as impressive as people make out, but he is a very good unit.
Okay,
Mhm.
I can agree with that part. It depends on what we're talking about here. Like when people are saying the Vegito Blue is like the best unit in the game when he comes out, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. He's up there.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Like
Yeah.
I would put him on like a similar echelon. I would put him on like that echelon. But if you're gonna say he's the most powerful standalone unit in the game, I don't know if I would agree with that.
Nah, he's definitely
Um,
not. He can have issues.
If
I can
anybody,
foresee
I would
having
say
issues
I would
in
say
the
he's
longer content.
stronger than like full power Super Saiyan 4. Although I could see
Yeah.
like post revive Tech Goku, for instance, being stronger. Or
So,
like,
yeah,
so right now the truth has Super Saiyan 4 Goku behind Zamasu at 5, and then the Blues right behind Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I think that Super Saiyan 4 Goku is he's worse turn 1 than the Blues would be in slot 1. That's my
it's
opinion on him.
dependent
actually.
on. In slot one, I mean,
it
yeah.
kind of depends. Although I would say they're usually better on turn 1.
they'll be
Mhm.
better defensive.
Yeah.
I would
defensively, but
say Super Saiyan 4 in his best case scenario is better than them. Like post hit, post super,
French.
with Saiyan Roar, he's tanking better. Without those factors, I'd say Blues are probably tanking better, especially
So
because of the dodge.
so I'm thinking like in their best situations ever, right? Or in the worst possible scenario, right? In the worst possible scenario, that's a super attack first turn or slot 1 first attack, right? Like I think that's the worst case scenario for most units like Super Saiyan 4
Yeah.
Goku and Vegeta and Goku, right? I think that in that sort of situation, the Blues are always going to be able to come out top, even if they don't dodge. The fact that they do have the possibility of dodging puts them above Goku in my opinion. Because Goku, he needs to take that first hit to be anywhere near as tanky as he usually is, right?
I mean, they're better defensively anyway. Slot one, but
Yeah.
it's. I mean, I don't doubt their, the efficacy as a slot one defensive unit. My issue is that in slot one, you basically get to pick and choose with this unit, but they don't really like. So slot one, they'll be a great slot one defensive unit, but their damage will be fucking shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. Their damage in slot 1 is pitiful.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
can
disagree
agree with
with
that.
that
Yeah.
at all.
But
I,
then if you put them in slot 2, they're defensively like only slightly. In fact, yeah, they're only slightly better than Vegeta and Trunks, and they're. In fact, no, I think they're worse defensively than Vegeta Trunks slot 2. What am I about? In slot 1, they're only like slightly better than the fully built up Vegeta and Trunks, like defensive stat wise. Obviously, you have the dodge as well, but like slot 2, defensively they're not that good.
When it comes to better or worse than Vegeta and Trunks in slot 2, I don't really have any necessary comment. Like I could see them being worse.
I think they're
do
better
think,
in slot 2 than Vegeta and Trunks. Just want to point that out, but I just don't think
yeah,
the stats are that good either way.
I think in slot 2,
I
if
think
you
they can
have
put up
to,
some decent damage in slot 2. Although
I
this is
don't think they can.
this is predicated on Realm of Gods. I haven't.
Oh yeah, okay.
I
Then.
think it's
Yeah.
I think it's decent even without Realm of Gods, but the Realm of Gods definitely helps a lot.
yeah.
Just to contextualize though, Realm of Gods enemies. I mean, the current hardest stage Omega is not Realm of Gods.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
I don't think we could only look at the damage of Realm of Gods enemies because it's not really fair. I mean,
No, yeah, I think that's fair enough. I think
Well,
that's
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't have any exact showings to show, and I haven't really done any calcs because I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't be fucked. But like what do I usually see them doing in slot 2 without Realm of Gods? I'm not sure because I usually just run them versus Rose. I'm not gonna lie there. I've done some runs with them versus Sin.
I can give you some of their stats. I have a spreadsheet in front of me. I mean, just from supers, assuming they've got Bulma support, and then next to the LR gods. No, sorry, Godku, physical Godku. So 70%.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Attack
Godku. Like
7.6 million on the original super. That's no Realm of Gods enemies, and
Yeah.
then 5 million on the additional super. 5.3 on the next, then 5.59 on the next one after that. If you get it. And
that doesn't sound incorrect. What would the APT be like? 25,
28 million. 28 million, but that's with 24 crit and 19 additional, which is like very good equips.
Is that like way worse than Super Saiyan 4 before full power comes out though?
I think that might be better. I think that might be better than Super Saiyan 4. But
Yeah.
you also got to like, it's around the same. It's same level.
Yeah,
but then Super Saiyan 4
I
is
can see that.
probably better defensively.
I'm actually so curious how Super Saiyan 4
them in slot
Goku.
2, yes, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
I'm actually so curious as to how Super Saiyan 4 Goku is out.
About on par. I would maybe more say it was about on par, but I could see him being slightly better.
Yeah.
Defensively.
I'm just confused as to how Super Saiyan 4 Goku is out damaging the Blues, even in slot 1, right? I like because Super Saiyan 4 Goku
he out-dodges him a lot.
Does he? Because I've only ever gotten like one super attack with him, like most turns. He only does one.
Are we talking slot 1 versus slot 1?
Yeah. Slot 1 versus
If we're
slot
talking
1.
slot 1 versus slot 1, then yeah, I can definitely see. Because like I would say Super Saiyan 4 is probably throwing out about like 25 million, like a bit less than 25 million APT in slot 1, but they're like 12 million in slot 1.
Yeah. So what you have to put in perspective here is that he has 150% start turn, and then he's got 140% multiplicative stats for attack once he's hit and once he supers. He's also, I think he's got inbuilt crit, does he? Yeah. High chance of performing a critical hit and performing a super attack. He's going to be doing a lot more damage. Even if he only does one super there, in slot 2, what is it, a medium chance and a high chance for them, and then hidden potential. So their chances are against him anyway. It's not really like a high chance to see those supers. Like you got the 7.6 and maybe like on average like 1.5 more supers after that, probably something around that.
Yeah.
Even if you just add those stats up, I think Super Saiyan 4 is going to be like doing more.
Yeah, I don't doubt at all that Super Saiyan 4. Like if we're talking slot 1 versus slot 1, I can definitely see Super Saiyan 4 doing a lot better in the damage department.
Okay.
I wouldn't like
when I hear you guys talk about APT, I'm always thinking like you guys mean the numbers that you're seeing on screen. Probably not their like best situations. Like
no,
because I've seen
numbers.
Okay.
I would say a good guide. Like this is just like my intuition. A good way to kind of intuit what an APT means is like it'll often be like double what you're seeing, because it's like what APT is it's basically saying you got this attack stat plus this amount of extra to account for the fact that it might crit, plus this amount extra to account for the fact that they might additional, etc., etc. Is kind of what's going on with APT. It's basically the attack stat, but with all the extra shit they might do factored in.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's fair. Are they? So I think we probably already talked about it, but do you guys think they're out damaging him slot 2?
Yes,
I would say. Yeah, I would say the Blues are out damaging Super Saiyan 4 when they are in slot 2. Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
So base Super Saiyan 4 in terms.
Right.
I would say Blues slot 2 versus Realm of Gods out damages full power Super Saiyan 4, out damages Blues not versus Realm of Gods in slot 2, out damages base Super Saiyan 4, out damages Blues in slot 1 is what I would say.
Yeah, I learned that too. I just now learned that too. So, well, yeah, okay. So where would you rate him, Alan? Because based on the Truth's tier list, what would you rate them? So the Blues are right, but the Blues are right below Super Saiyan 4 Goku at 5. They're at 6. So where would you rate them if you could?
I did a list of them. I think it was. I want to say they were around the 7 to 8 range.
Ooh, okay. So you think that Beast Gohan is above them? So you think he's about 5? He's 6.
Yeah. I think he's 6 to 7 at the moment. I don't think they're interchangeable. I think he's just better than them at the moment, easily for this content as well.
So I see. Man, the Truth's tier list is a bit weird. I'm sorry I'm bringing this up in our debate, but so he's got the top 3, the big 3: Bulma, GT Duo, and Piccolo, right? And then it's the Masu. Yep. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the Blues, and then the Blue Fusion, Easy A's, and then Buu Duo, Kaiku, and then Vegeta and Trunks. Based on that list, where would you guys rank? I know that Vector just did his like literally yesterday, but where would you guys rank Where'd you guys rank these guys?
I think
So
I
I know you
have them
said
in like a. I don't remember the exact number I had. I would say I probably have them around where Truth has them. Uh, I would say like they're not in the tippity top tier. I would say there's another tier right below the top 3 that has like Tech Goku, Jr., and Zamasu in it. And I would say they're in the next tier under that is what I would say.
Okay.
I see no way 24. I think you really overrate 23rd World Tournament Goku, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't.
I know you think that.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good. I do like him a lot. He's a good unit, but god damn, that unit fucking frauds out for me so
People,
much.
I'll say this, like I would say people in general probably are more off put by his chance to guard than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that might be where some of the disconnect comes from. I just feel like when you have tools to make it where you, like I'm not gonna pretend that every single freaking time I run 23rd Goku I fish for the revive and instantly go for the God mode because I don't
Right.
do that.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I just kind of let it happen. Although it depends on the stage. Like on these new stages where like they're coming out the gate hitting like 600k normals and shit, like then I'm probably fishing for the revive.
I think that he is a really good character, 23rd World Tournament Goku. But I did have a problem with your rating, where he was above the blues, because if you could put Kaioken, or not Kaioken Goku in there, but the 23rd World Tournament Goku in there, you could have definitely put the blues in there. They're basically by other people's standards have the same weaknesses, except the blues have guaranteed guard for the first 4 turns. It's just that one turn where they potentially have the chance to fraud out, right? And it's not even like a complete
I could kind of
chance.
see them on the same tier, kind of. I'm not gonna act like I'm not at least a little biased for him. 23rd World Tournament Goku is my goat. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna pretend otherwise.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to him versus Blues, what would have me put Goku definitively above them? Let me think for a minute. I feel it, although I don't know if I've ever like necessarily articulated why. Like I can't really say it's because
LR
of the
Omega is not on the
team.
list, buddy. He's not on the list, unfortunately. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
I can't really say it's the team because Blue Goku and Vegeta also have like a freaking bonkers team, and I would say their team probably has a better argument for being the best team in the game than 23rds.
Well, they do have the best leader skill in the game, but I think man, that's really tough. Yeah, I think their team is just overall better because you're able to run every superclass character, right? So
what I would say is that they're on the same tier, but I would say like if we're just talking team, I would say the Blues team is better, but 23rds team is on that same tier as them, is what I would say.
Okay. Because how I'm looking at this Vegito unit, you guys are on global, so you don't have the Omega fight, but I'm sure you guys have probably played it on the private server and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
I've played it a pretty decent amount on the private server.
Me playing this, like, I play the Omega fight literally every single chance I get, dude. I love this fight way too much. I'm looking at this unit, and a lot of what Alan brings up about this unit being bad, or like not bad, but like them potentially being able to fraud out, it just does not exist to me in this Omega event. Like after I've run at least Vegito, maybe I want to say like 100 times in this event, and I've never really struggled to get him out at all. Like, and even if it goes past that fourth turn, he's type advantage in the second phase of that event anyway, so it's not like he's struggling way too much. And people like boss fights like Rose, he's definitely really not struggling because, I mean, it depends on how you play, but if you take things slow, you'll eventually get to the point where Vegito's going to be able to come out on that SCR phase and then just completely shred every other phase of that event.
Well,
So
just to be clear, I don't think they're bad for Omega or Rose. I mean, they're good.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean to imply that you thought they were bad. I just meant like a lot of the problems that you have with that unit don't exist in events like that. That's what
the main problems that kind of come down to. I think Rose, they're very good in. Omega, it comes down to a stat difference. I'm not gonna like. They can be very good in Omega, but I just don't think that what they're doing stat wise is very good. It's just okay. Like, I don't think they're bad for it. They can definitely do it. Although I do think they have the opportunity to be kind of shitty in there. I'm not really. I don't think their defense is amazing post intro. I'm not gonna lie. If you don't fuse. even if they don't come
Yeah.
dodge.
They can definitely get frauded out. Like if you get them on their 5th turn and they didn't fuse, they can definitely they can definitely be opened up.
Yeah.
I
a
would
wild way to say that.
say that it doesn't just this is anecdote shit. I'm not gonna pretend it's not.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I just feel as long as one of your tank units has eaten like a relatively formidable super by turn 5,
Yeah.
they're coming out.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Which which I would say that's like versus like Rose or Cell, you one of your tanks has definitely eaten a super that has done like 200k to you or something by turn 5.
Yeah.
Against Omega, I could see it not happening. However, I would say even if it doesn't happen, you're still probably versus the strength phase where they have type advantage anyway, so I can see them eking by that way.
Yeah.
Versus if we're talking Omega specifically.
Yeah.
The thing I have an issue with there is that they are one of the designated, if not both the designated slot ones for both rotations. They have dodge. A lot of their defense is going to come for that dodge. You can
That
easily
is
just
fair.
not get hit.
That is a fair point. They could just like you could just put them in slot 1 and they always super slot 1 and they always dodge. That is a
Yeah.
possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's uncommon to get the condition. I think it's just something that can happen and then therefore should be acknowledged. I don't think it's like you'll never see Vegito Blue. I think you'll see them a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I just think there'll be like maybe 10-20% of the time you won't see him on that turn, and it will be fucking shit when you don't see him.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Although I feel like a similar thing could be said for Ulton.
Yeah.
If we're talking about like Omega specifically, I feel like you could say, okay, well, 10 or 20% of the time you might end up on strength. You might end up on strength Omega. Ulton's intro is out, and you don't have orange Piccolo on that turn to get rid of the AOE's or something.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be like a comparable.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, the team I would say to use as a benchmark for Rohan is going to be Earthbred Fighters.
For sure.
I don't see many scenarios where you run full power Super Saiyan 4 and Junior and don't kill the tech phase fast enough. I think it's going to be very unlikely. I'm not going to. You could probably get really fucking unlucky and somehow not do it. I don't know if it'd be 20% of the time though. I feel like it'd be like less time you'd see that happen than see the blue duos not be able to fuse.
By the way,
my thing about it is like let's say the blue duo do fraud out. They didn't eat us. Like if we're talking Omega, that is. The blue duo did throw out. No one ate a super and got you below the threshold, and it's turn 5.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're most likely on strength Sin in that strength Omega in that scenario, and they're AGL. So I feel like they'd like if we got like another stage that was structured like Omega, that could be a problem for them. But like since that phase is strength, I feel like they have a lot of leeway to be like, okay, well, our intro ran out, but here we're pretty much fine anyway.
Yeah.
Are you guys reading? Feel free to read chat, by the way, guys. If you have any if you see anything that catches your eye in chat. But Future Dokkan, he's saying there's just possibilities that like nobody on the team gets hit because there's so many like dodge units on Vegito Blue's team. I would almost say that if you are running like Vegito Blue, like if you're running both the Easy A Blue fusions and stuff like that, and they're on their turn 5 and stuff like that, or you're like floating them off, like of course like the blue fusions aren't really gonna get hit that much because of their really high chance to dodge, and you're floating them off anyway. And then when they finally turn blue, they just have a 100% chance to. Like, obviously, like characters like that, they're not going to get hit very often. But like if you bring characters like Bulma, who's on a 180%, they're not even on the full 200%. Actually, I don't know. She's not even on a 180%. She's on 150. So you bring characters like Bulma or Piccolo and stuff like that, they're always going to be vulnerable their first turn, no matter what. They're most likely always vulnerable. And chances are, in that first slot, they're most likely going to be the one who takes the super attack, and they're just tanky enough to survive and then get you below 70% HP. So there's still characters that you can run if you run the team smartly to get that threshold really
You can
quickly.
play around it.
Yeah. I'm not saying this is like an ironclad thing, because like I'm definitely not bringing this guy versus my answer to any like HP threshold kind of thing is just bring Yaj.
Yajirobe.
And like I would personally bring Yaj anywhere besides Omega.
I've been using him a lot. I think that he does definitely add a lot of risk, though. I don't think it's you will see him. You will die to him because of him a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know about a lot, but like I would say a lot versus like Omega. I would say
Um,
moderately. I would say like a little bit versus like Sin because of the AOE's. Although at the same time, it's like with Omega and Yaj. It's like with Omega, when you get to Int Omega, he does one AOE and he hits Yaj and you're at 1% HP. But I feel like versus like Sin, like he can take a couple of those before it's just dodge or die because you're at 1% HP.
Mm.
mhm.
I mean, I'm watching Odie's gameplay. I just saw them do a fucking 4 million attack stat, less than actually, and 2.5 million additional. What the fuck?
Well, to be fair,
That's
I had them linked
embarrassing.
up with Orange Piccolo. To be
My
fair,
reaction to that
No,
MMA.
that was in my bro. That's 50% support.
well, still they don't have all their links active. Of course they do that
Nah,
much. Come on, man.
that's poo,
That's
bro.
a
That's poo.
disingenuous. No, come
I mean,
on,
look,
bruh.
look. I'll throw Alan a bone here. Let's say it was Ultimate Gohan linked with Orange Piccolo instead. Who's doing more damage?
With
Probably
50% support. With 50% support as well.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Try
Beast
Ultron.
Gohan, but Beast Gohan has a clear purpose in his damage, though, right? Like his whole goal is to do
Yeah.
damage. So that
I,
right there is a
yeah.
little bit, I would say, isn't fair because
These,
the Blues are doing something completely different. Now, if we can meet in the middle and have like the Blues having crazy defensive value and damage, that'd be awesome. But I'm not gonna complain because the Blues are still really, really good for 4 turns, and like onwards because of their 50% chance to dodge. Like I don't know.
It's
They
like,
both
I can
have different
kind of see
purposes.
where Alan's coming from on one aspect. It's like if you don't really want to consider their slot 2 damage, I get it
Yeah.
because it's like I feel like 90% of the time you're just going to be sticking them slot 1 because they're really useful there.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I
at
think
that
no. I
point,
think it's fine to consider their slot 2 damage. I think that you have to, like my whole point is you have to really weigh your options because slot 1 they're great defensively, but they are fucking shit offensively. Slot 2 they're okay defensively. A lot of Olhan's better than them defensively. Slot 2 and
yeah,
offensively
that's fair.
past turn 1. A lot of units are better than them defensively. Slot 2 and they lose a lot of their defensive ability, but their damage gets better. It's still not great. It's like it's okay. It's good when you're against Realm God's enemies, and that's it.
I can kind of see that angle. Like if you wanted to say like if we wanted to say slot 2 versus slot 2, Ulton's just kind of better than
Oh, he is, yeah. I mean,
Blues
he just is.
pre-intro, then
They're
yeah,
like
yeah.
turn 1
I
damage.
could get behind that. I can get behind that.
I
Their
mean,
turn 1 damage against Realm God's enemies is like slightly better if he doesn't get 24 key, or if he does
I
get 24
just
key.
do
Sorry.
think their defensive performance in slot 1 is just really freaking good.
It is really
Yeah.
good, but I don't value it enough. Like, there's better slot 1 units.
Are there
sorry.
many?
Yeah, I was
There's
I was
some,
to say.
but I mean overall, doing other stuff as well as just being good defensively. I would say full power Super Saiyan 4. He's worse defensively slot 1, but he's also does a lot of other stuff, and I kind of like what he does a lot more than what they do, especially Oob. Oob in general is just great.
Oob, yeah. Like if we're talking like them not like if they don't fuse on turn 5, Oob is definitely out by then. I'm definitely saying Super Saiyan 4 is looking better on that turn.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would say if Vegito comes out, he's like who the fuck is Oob?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think full power Super Saiyan 4 is much worse than Vegeta, though, for being fair here.
I don't
He gets
think
gold in his
either.
Not a
first turn.
ton.
They're so close. I would say they're so close to being similar. I think Super Saiyan 4 Goku is way more similar to the Blues all throughout the fight. Even full power Super Saiyan 4 outside of damage. I mean, but like they're very similar units like throughout the fight. I'd say, and what they're able to do defensively. So, but like that Oob and then the Vegito comparison, it isn't even close. I would almost argue that Vegito is a bit better than full power Super Saiyan 4. Just like that active skill turn is way too powerful. Like Vegito Blue's active skill turn is way too crazy for me to even like feel like
the same
Super Saiyan
thing.
Go.
I don't like it. I don't like that HP restriction. I don't like it on the 5th years either. I really think it sucks dick. I think
By
that
the
when
way,
you date it.
Arjun Gridhar says, "I am British. I am not British. I am from the Murica."
Yeah, that's so funny. That's actually hilarious.
Yeah, I was just saying. I think when you gate an active skill, to below 50% HP. And obviously, Vegito Blue's one here is if he's also below
Yes,
50%,
yes.
that makes it a lot better. But when you get it to when an enemy is below 50% HP, you lose a lot of damage because you literally do too much damage. You like get an overflow where you don't really truly see the amount of damage you're doing. You see a fraction of it because the boss just
Can
doesn't
you
survive
really
that long.
can you really say that? Can you really say that's bad though? Because it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, if you get this active skill, the enemy's just dead.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
sure
yeah,
you're
but
doing
it's
overkill damage, but like the enemy's just dead. Like what's wrong with that?
the enemy's dead, but the enemy could be dead with like 80 million APT rather than 100 million. Like it's not. If people are arguing like the active turns, say 50 years, a lot of people argue the active turns is like a major point for having them over other units. Like a big point I had with the 50 years was that you only ever really see one turn of good damage from. Might be different for Omega now because it's quite a long event, but you only really see one good turn and damage because they don't do good damage in base. They just don't do good damage to the first turn in blue. That's fucking delusional.
I guess I just
Anybody saying
I'm
that is
gonna
wrong.
say okay. Here's what I'm gonna say about their first turn blue.
yeah.
They
Please.
can do good damage.
They can do
They
okay
do,
damage.
they do need to be supported, and you do need to have a little luck with their key for them to really pop off damage. Because
I don't know if
if
it's a
you
little luck, bro. I think it's a lot of luck. 8 orbs when they're together.
depends on the support. Like let's say I have GT Vegeta or something, which I would say is pretty
but
damn
on their first
common.
turn of blue,
Because I'm like fishing for that shit. You know
I
what
think
I
I
mean?
think
I
well,
don't
I
think
think
that's
we're
like a
missing
good way
out.
to play it.
It's fine. It's fine that they're not like because they build up anyway, but it's fine that they're not like super offensively heavy their first turn because on that first turn they have a 100% chance to dodge and they're doing multiple attacks anyway to get to a point where they're doing good
100%
damage.
chance to dodge thing is definitely something that I'm sure a lot of people really are like, oh my god, so OP about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely very good. I think you're fine arguing that if you want to like use that part to argue
Oh,
over
because
other
me?
units,
Aw,
that's fine.
thanks, dude.
But don't argue their damage. A big habit people in Dokkan community have is if they have like a unit, that unit has to be better in every single way, and they have to argue that, or like they're just like the 50 years do have legitimate flaws. They have, there are things that they do worse than other units, and it's like
Yeah.
what I said about them is pretty much true. They only really ever have one good turn damage. And people just got like anal and irate about that, and they just would not shut the fuck up about it.
I mean, I won't lie. I got triggered by that too, and like in some regards, you were right about that. Like, I think they can have good damage on their first turn, but it is also very very easily possible for them to just throw out like a 7 million and then like a couple more 7 millions and then they're done. That's like also like a very possible scenario.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is key. People kind of underrate how big of an issue it is for them on their first time. It's 13 orbs when they're not together, and 8 orbs when they are, and their key links are quite hard to get. So you're only ever going to really see them when they're together.
Well, hold on because we're missing I think right now we've got to look at a post Vegito world, okay? A post Vegito Dokkan right now. The blue fusions.
Okay.
All right. Or I want to say Tech Vegito Blue more so than Tech Gogeta, but Tech Vegito Blue next to Blue Vegito, AGL Blue Vegito, is I would say his first turn with a 100% chance to dodge is doing a lot of damage, a pretty good amount of damage. Like I've seen him at 12 million, like his first attack. So I don't know, man. I'm just saying I
12 million
think
is a
the
bit
blues
high.
are fine.
Here's what I'd say about Vegito's damage himself. I would say Vegito, if he doesn't use his active skill, his damage is just like it's pretty good. But like if he uses his active skill, that's when it becomes like whoa.
This is Vegito Blue, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Agile Vegito Blue.
Yeah, AGL Vegito Blue. He needs the active skill for it to be like whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. How much time do you have left? Because we have to be a little bit quick, don't we?
But, we have like an hour
45,
still.
I got like 30, 45 minutes.
Okay, cool.
If we're gonna talk about, I think Gohan can out damage Vegito Blue's normal turn.
He can.
Yeah, I don't. Is people really? I've seen Fad do it a lot. I think like a lot of kind of people do it where they just show like the one big attack stat, so he can do 6 more of these. Okay. Outside the active enemy he can't, and also the stats are lower, so be a little bit disingenuous. I mean, yes, his damage is decent. Like his defensively is really good. But again,
Yeah,
it's kind of
I
like a
can
Twitter
give
thing.
that to you that his damage isn't like it's not really entering crazy territory unless he's like it's good if he's not using his act. It's like 45, 50 million, but it's not really entering that whoa territory
I
unless he's
think
using his active.
I think
Where Ultons kind of can sometimes depending on the setup.
I
Yeah.
I think outside of damage though, like we all agree that Vegito Blue is crazy when he comes out. Like there's no denying that. Overall, I think Vegito Blue is just better than Gohan in general. Maybe not damage wise, is like outside of that active skill turn. Sure, I'll give you that. I'll concede on that one. But like Gohan is not doing nearly a fraction of what Vegito Blue is doing, even outside of his active skill turn, bro. That 50% chance to dodge, and then also the damage reduction, the 50% damage reduction on top of a 500k, even more. I want to say he's be at a million defense. Like,
I mean,
he's
you have
going
to
like
remember
close.
you can consistently have Gohan's active when Vegeta Blue. Well, not on the 5th turn, but on the 6th turn, if he's on second rotation, you will have Gohan's active as well. So I'd say he kind of does.
Well, no, because he's not 100%. He's not dodging 100% of the time, and then he's not also.
That's on active turn. If you
Yeah,
active
yeah.
turn, Vegeta
Even
Blue's better. Yeah.
even outside of his active skill turn though, because he still has
Nah.
the dodge chance and he still has the damage reduction. He's still a
I
way
would
better
say
slot one
overall,
unit
yeah,
than what
If we're
overall
Gohan would
Vegeta
talking
be.
Blue's better unit
non-active
than.
versus non-active, I would say it's similar, but Ulton probably edges him out.
You think
what I
so?
would
say.
You actually believe that? You
Yes.
actually you for real believe that
Because
Gohan?
even on a even on like a non-active turn, like if it's a good setup for Ulton, he's probably throwing out like 16 million into 12 million into 12 million. You know.
Yeah, damage. Like I said, I concede on the damage point. Like yeah, he's definitely doing a lot more damage than what Vegito's doing.
If
But
we're factoring in the defensive-ness, then I could see you saying you're taking Vegito over Ulton though.
oh,
I could see
every
that,
single day of the week,
I
Like
mean,
if, if, if,
I would probably say Vegeta as a unit is probably better, but I don't think the thing is I don't think it's a massive gap, and that kind of makes me think, well, how is Ohan much better when he's better every other turn and he's barely worse even when Vegito's out?
Well, every other turn, like he's better. He's definitely better every other turn, like damage wise. Besides the active turn, I would say.
mm-hmm.
Although I would say that like if
Well,
we're talking slot 2 versus slot 2, I would say Vegito is looking. I mean, Ulton is probably looking better defensively there. But like if we're talking about them in slot
what?
1, I would say they're quite a bit better. Okay, what I said was Blue Boys slot 2 versus Ulton slot
Okay.
2. If we're talking,
Okay.
if we're talking slot 2 versus slot 2, I'm taking Ulton. If we're talking Blue Boys versus Ulton,
Slot
but
2
if
versus
it's
slot
like
2, it's not even close. Ohan fucking
yeah,
shits on them.
kind of
Offensively,
yeah.
yes, yeah,
I'm
No,
not gonna
no,
deny that.
defensively too, he shits on them. It's
The Blues,
both ways.
the
He
Blues
shits
or
on them.
But
Vegeta.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
slot 1.
Ohan slot 2 shits on them slot 2.
Okay,
The Blues.
yeah,
The
I'll
Blues.
give you that, but let's not act
Them
like
being able
Beast
to provide
Gohan slot
that
2.
slot 1 defense for your team, though, like I do feel like that does give them something that Ulton
It
you
does.
can
It does.
slide Ulton slot 1 while his intro is up if you want to. It's just not having that dodge makes it, you know.
Yeah, but you
Yeah, not
sacrificed
defensively.
like
Yeah.
20, well, over 10 million APT for that. I mean, they're sitting at sort of like 10 to 15 million slot 1. So
I
I'm
can
not
see
sure I
that.
really want that.
Well, it depends. Like if we're talking like I'm being told to stop with the Ulton.
Yeah, I just saw that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's
look,
clear something up.
I'm pulling for I'm pulling for Vegito here overall, but
Yeah.
look, like Ulton is probably better than like this is probably closer than most of y'all think. I'm just gonna say that.
It's a lot
Well,
closer.
let's
I mean,
calm down a little bit. It is not as close as we think. Offensively, Gohan takes the cake for sure. I will say it. On their intro, even with their intros up, I still think that the Blues are better. Just overall. I'm just gonna clear that out right now. But also to talk about that comment real quick. Let's stop acting like Beast Gohan isn't a good unit, especially in today's climate. He's definitely really good. Okay, and I would almost say he's very close. You could almost argue Gohan and Ma Jr. as slot 2s. Like you could pick and choose. They're both really, really good slot 2 units. It's just I think Gohan, I'm not gonna act like Gohan can't get caught up in slot 2 compared to the blues, I guess.
It depends what.
I would say
After a
the
couple-
blues are more liable to be caught in
Yeah,
slot 2
yeah.
than Ulton.
Mm-hmm.
But like if we're talking slot 1 blues versus slot 2 Ulton,
Yeah.
I would say the like I'm kind of taking the blues just because I just really like how good they are in slot 1. I do understand that their damage is kind of dookie in slot 1 though. I'm
Mhm.
definitely
I
but
don't
I
think it suits
Razor.
current content.
Where am I overrating him though? Like I'm just kind of trying to be fair here.
For what? For Gohan and the Blue Duo?
No, I'm talking to that Razor guy who's saying stop
Oh, right.
overrating. He's telling me, the guy arguing for Vegito, to stop overrating Ulton, and I'm like, look, look, I'm pulling for Vegito in this debate, but what can I say? Most of y'all have most of you have not used Ulton and know how good he is. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, he's really
Even though I'm pulling for Vegito, I have to acknowledge that.
we can't keep like I get it. The truth made his joke. Beast Gohan's the worst character. We're biggest fumble in the entire world. Like I mean they fumbled his active skill. That's the only thing they really fumbled about Gohan. And then at the time he didn't really have very many good partners. But that's not the case in today's climate, man. You can run him with
the
fourth best
even at his
best
time, he
unit.
had a really good team. That's the thing. Don't mean
I
to
mean
cut you off.
Yeah, you're good. No, you're fine.
I hear that a lot, and I just think it's complete bullshit. You had the superheroes team. People just were led to believe it was bad. You had
It's
to build
not.
around him a little bit, but
Yeah.
he he had the second best numbers in the game on his release. He was better than Cooler. Like even stat wise, you could argue him way better than Cooler at the time.
Yeah, I would say I resisted that for a while. But yeah, at this point, I'd say like you're kind of delusional if you think Cooler's better than Ulton.
Without guard,
I mean,
he becomes mediocre. I don't agree with that. You can.
he's not. He's not.
Yeah,
That's cap.
Even
Okay.
without his guard, now.
Say he's mediocre. I would say he's mediocre defensively without his guard. He kind of just becomes your average tank, normal, die to super unit.
Yeah,
But like for the amount of damage he's doing, I'm fine with
Well,
that. I'm taking that.
Well, hold on. Does Piccolo have any
that's not overall? That's not mediocre. I would say.
Does Piccolo Jr. have any like damage reduction or anything like that in his passive? Okay, so I would say he's very similar to what Piccolo Jr. is slot 2.
My junior has higher raw defense, but
yeah.
I mean, if you're going
I don't know if I would agree
here,
with that. Like, I would say like Jr. always has the possibility of just supering enough times for nothing to be able to hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Ulton, he has like a cap once his intro is gone. But like
people
if
underestimate
we're
how hard
averages,
it is.
I mean that's fair. That's fair.
It's going to be over 1 million, probably average if you got the support up and stuff like that.
Piccolo Jr.'s defense is way higher. I know his defense is higher. I guess like what I'm referring to is like after like multiple super. I guess Gohan doesn't really have the crazy. He does kind of sell me on the super tech sometimes, but even then,
something you have to. Sorry, I keep on cutting you off.
No, you're okay, bro. No, you're okay.
Something to note though is Majunior's intro does run out, and that does make him a lot worse. Like as soon as Majunior's intro runs out, he's worse than Gohan. Like that's straight up. I think you can even argue him, like they're on similar levels up before. I mean, you can argue Majunior over him, but after the intro runs out, it's curtains for Majunior. Like he loses basically every other stat at that point. And that's what was that, turn 7? I think it's turn 7.
Offensively, I can see it unless it's like his active or giant turn. Defensively, I'd have to. I never really calced him post intro defensively.
I'm just saying a 50% defensive raise is enough to get you through most.
He's definitely preying on getting a lot of supers to be outdoing Ulton defensively after his intro is gone. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
After Ulton's intro's gone, yes, I would agree. He is definitely high defensively. I mean, let's not turn this into a Junior versus Ulton debate. I think, we've talked about this enough. It's like
back to the original plan.
You can talk about either one. I think when it just comes down to Ulton versus the Blues, I think you just kind of have to. Do you really value having a good slot 1 unit? That much for having like absolute dog shit offense when there's a lot of units that can just go slot 1 and be completely fine anyway.
See, here's how I feel about that. Here's how I feel about that. I'm okay with sacrificing their damage in slot 1 while they are the blue boys, because like I guess I just kind of give them a pass for that because once Vegito comes out, he's actually doing a shit ton of damage.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's
exactly.
turn 5 minimum though. That's so
I mean,
long to wait.
But I think
get
their
that.
damage is.
It's just like by that point I'm looking at the end of I'm looking at the final phase of the fight, and that's just where it's most important to me that I'm just like one or two turning shit.
I
It's like
don't. Yeah,
I guess that point's not as strong against like Cell and Rose because it's like versus them you want to be blitzing every stage because every phase can fuck you up.
even
But it's
Omega
like
though. I mean, STR Omega's like probably the worst phase to go through. I think that's arguably worse than Tech Omega or in Omega. Sorry,
I
but you
mean,
you know you want to blitz it.
I can kind of get that angle. You definitely want to blitz strength Omega, although I would say you have a good argument for wanting to stall against Tech Omega.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could probably do that.
Although
I
it
mean,
depends on the team. It depends on the team. Like there's some
Yeah.
teams where you want to just pack up Tech Omega instantly so that units intros can stay. But like I feel like with like AGLVB against Omega, like there could be an argument for wanting to stall against Tech Omega to get Vegito out like with certainty.
Yeah, I think there's different strategies to it. I just think stat wise, I think you can't really. I just see Ohan as better. That's how it is. I think
I
there's a very strong argument
do you have the
massively
blues?
towards Ohan in this
Do you
case.
have the blues in game, Alan?
No, I did some of them.
All right. So you psychopath.
Actually, I did. I did a rotation on them.
Okay. Well, I think if you
I mean,
if
we're
you
talking pure
experience the
stat-wise,
blues,
I can see it.
yeah. Spreadsheets only. I guess I understand. Okay. But can we talk about how Bulma's taking like the most damage on this rotation ever? But stat wise, like if you're talking about spreadsheets on paper and everything else like that, sure, dude, like you win on that point. The Gohan is better than the blues. But the blues, I think, have a very clear purpose on what they're meant to do, and I like that about that unit. Like it's very clear what you're meant to do with that unit, and it's like it's not as hard as people are making it out to be.
I don't think it's
on
hard.
Twitter.
I just don't think it's like if you're. This is assuming you're playing with both, like with a very good play style. Like I think a lot of the big reason Alhan gets so underrated is because people don't really play with him in mind. They just kind of shove him on teams.
Mhm.
And expect him to do well.
I will agree with that. I do think a lot of the reason people underestimate Ulton is just because they like a lot of people like Truth. I can tell just by watching him a lot of the
Oh,
time.
he's so bad for it.
He just does not do offensive strategies. Like it just
Yeah.
does not compute. It just does not compute to him.
My
he used to do
favorite
runs where he just used to put him on and float him the entire time. It's
my
fucking horrendous.
my very favorite clip from Truth, man. I like this is the one time I think I've ever disagreed with Truth on something. He brought both blue fusions on Vegito Blue's team, and they like on turn 5, on their turn 5. They had a 100% chance to dodge everything else like that. On the same rotation, he was like, "I wonder why I'm not taking very much damage. I can't get Vegito Blue out for some reason." I'm like, "Bruh, you've got a 100% Bulma covering these two 100% chance to dodge units. You're not dying on that turn, or you're not taking any damage on that turn. Frankly, like, come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
This is very funny."
Yeah, like my thing with Truth is just like he's very locked into his defensive play styles. When it comes to a unit where you kind of need to have a bit of that offensive dog in you, it just kind of does not compute to Truth. I think
sometimes.
I mean, I get it. I'm a more defensive player at heart, but current content, and actually, this is going to leave what I was about to say back.
You would not be able to tell from this debate. You would not be able to know if Ala was a defensive baby.
I think current content is styled in a way where Stonewall builds just don't work. You can't really do it. There's obviously units that are good.
I would agree with that. I would say defensive builds are kind of in like their worst position.
They
in
are.
a long
They are.
time.
Yeah, easily. I don't think they're bad. You can definitely make them work. But offensive builds are very good at the moment, and the units that I'm arguing for are very good defensively anyway. Like Ulthan, like Rose and Cell, a lot of the time you're not even going to see Ulthan without his intro. And the one turn you will for Rose, he's got type advantage.
Yeah.
And then for Omega, you can also play it in a way where you basically always have guard when you need it. There might be one weak turn where you might get fucked.
Yeah, my experience with Omega and Ultron is just like even if you don't blitz tech fast enough, you can pretty much always plan it. You can just like you can be like, okay, I'm going to get to Strength Omega on this turn, so I need to float Orange Piccolo on this turn so that he appears next to Ulton on the Strength phase. And I
Yeah,
would say that's really reliable for getting him through.
it's pretty
Yeah.
simple. You know, it's not really difficult. Um, I don't know. I just
Like,
think content is really at the moment
I would
shaped
say
towards Gohan.
this: if we're talking like Ulton versus the OG Easy A Blue fusions versus Omega, I'm honestly probably taking Ulton.
Oh, I
The
think
mu-
they're just not that good in Omega. Like, I don't really get the hype behind them on that.
Well, they can definitely be made to work just like Ulton can. Although I do think it's a bit easier for Ulton. Like,
Yeah,
cause like with Ulton, you really only have to worry about the strength phase. With the blue fusions, you have to worry about the strength phase and the int phase. Although both of them have similar tools to get past all of that. It's just I think it's overall a bit better for Ulton because versus Omega because he really only has to worry about this. Once you're past the strength phase, he's just good to go.
don't you
Mhm.
kind
And
of
that's
need
just
them to
not
have
really.
the active in Omega though?
Yeah. Like whereas once you get to int, the blue fusions still need resources, be it orange piccolos or the active.
All I'm gonna say though is if you're on in Omega with the Blues, you don't have a future unit on the team. You don't have a future unit on the team at that
Well,
point.
I was talking about the Easy A blue fusions.
Those guys. Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah,
say
yeah.
I would say AGL VB has a bit more. He's more comparable. I would say he's similarly effective in Omega to Ulton.
Okay, yeah.
Possibly a bit more, I would say, just because. Let's say you don't get let's say you don't get the fusion by when their intro runs out. They still have type advantage against the phase you're most likely against. I guess if you like super blitzed and you're on int Omega on turn 5, they could get frauded out that way. But that's
Mhm.
the only real way I see that happening.
I would say I would say about equal against Omega because I don't think they contribute as much.
Yeah.
Damage wise, you're definitely going to feel it against Omega. It's like you want to be able to blitz it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in slot 2 against Omega, they might even get hit quite hard when the intro runs out. Even with type advantage, I don't think they'll die, but they will like get chunked.
I
Is
don't
what
think
they're going to be at. They're probably like
in
sub
slot
400k
in
when they intro.
slot 2 maybe, although I'm still probably keeping them in slot 1 there since they have type advantage and would have the dodge.
Yeah, but again, you're going to do like fuck all damage.
I mean, I
Yeah.
suppose, but like both of your rotations would have the blue boys protecting it. Although, like in terms of them like covering for whoever the slot 2 unit is, I guess that's fair enough. Like Ulton's going to be getting rid of Strength Omega faster, so that
Yeah.
problem's not as pronounced.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
against Omega, I think it go either way. But I think against, I mean,
If
Cell and Rose.
we're looking at them in a vacuum, obviously they're AGL. I'm taking no intro. This is like this goes without saying, but like if we're looking at no
No
intro
intro
versus
versus no
no
intro, yes.
intro,
Yeah.
versus Strength Omega, I'm definitely taking the AGL guys, obviously, but
The Blue Bros do not decimate SG Omega. Yeah, maybe. They don't do enough damage, I don't
Well,
think.
I think their
I would
damage.
say
it's
they
good damage.
decimate him defensively. Their damage is meh.
If
Yeah.
I haven't won a single fucking one of these no item runs, by the way. I'm frauding out. But yeah, their damage. I mean, if they're not in slot 2, okay, like in slot 2, I think they'll be fine against Omega damage wise and even defensively, right? They don't necessarily even like need to have the 50% chance to dodge in slot
I feel
2.
like they'd take some damage from AoEs.
They
in
would,
slot,
they would, especially post super
but
attack for sure.
not like a fuck ton. They might take like
Yeah.
50k or something. It would be my guess.
Yeah, I think
in slot 1 they're good versus Strength Omega.
yeah. No, that's before he super attacks. I think after Omega super attacks, they'd probably be Fraud King. That's fucked, man. But I think post super attack they'd probably be taking like 100k on Omega AoEs, which isn't like the worst thing in the world because he only AoEs like what 3 times every phase, sometimes even like sometimes even like once.
AoE's two
It's
times.
generally 3 times.
Yeah,
I think it's 2 in it for SG Omega.
I've usually only.
I remember, I could be wrong because it's been a couple weeks since I've really fought Omega, but I was pretty sure it's 3.
I've gotten
I
3.
could be wrong.
I'll go on Dokkan info quickly.
I literally
I'm pretty
just-
sure it's 2.
I've literally just been fighting Omega Shenron, so I should know this by now. I really should.
Events challenge.
It looks like it. Oh, it looks like it's about twice. Yeah. Oh no, he has a heal. He has a heal. That's what it is. So he heals once and then he AoEs twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, on turns like that, I think they're fine. Even if they take like 200k from AoEs or whatever, like in slot 2, they're not like taking the most. And I guess we got to keep in mind that they are a stacking unit as well. I feel like most stacking units don't always have the highest starting stats ever.
Yeah.
It would
Again,
just
though,
be
it's
nice.
like-
It would just be nice if they stacked faster. If they stacked faster or like had attack and defense on both super attacks, like nobody really would be complaining about this unit at all.
It's just all this stat talk, but I mean, I just don't value what they do over what Olhan does for most of these fights. Rose and Cell, Olhan shits on them, like legitimately just shits on them. For Omega, I think they're like equal ground. You might be able to argue Vegito slightly above, but they're really not that much better if they are.
I feel like
So-
I feel like with the
Yeah.
blues having the bonuses they get against ROG enemies, I think it could be closer than you think.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not.
And you
It's,
got also if we're down in the dirt with Ultimate Gohan's active skill, we could be fine with the blues. You know, not active skill, their intro skill. We could be fine with the blues intro skill in those short events, especially in those short ass events, dude. Like I feel like you might have an argument when it comes to Omega because it lasts a little bit longer, and you could possibly get to a point where you don't get his the Vegito out. But like in that event where you're taking like 1 million, like dude, these bosses are hitting you with 1 million per super attack. Like I don't know. I think it's pretty close.
I mean, no. Well, because you can use superheroes. I think their normal turn damage, turn 1, their damage might be better. For Rose, not for Cell, but for Rose, yes,
I
it might be
agree.
better. Slightly damaged defensively, they're still going to be a lot worse. For the second turn, I'm pretty sure Altahan will do better on superheroes anyway.
I wouldn't disagree with that damage wise.
Well, defensively, he's just better. I mean, slot 1, you could argue, yeah, but it's not going to
If we're talking
damage wise.
slot 2 versus slot 2, he's better defensively. Although I think the blues are just straight up better defensively if they're in slot 1.
They are, yeah, they are in slot 1.
I just feel like that's where I'm running them 99% of the time.
Defensive stat wise, I don't think they are, but because of the dodge, they are.
Not defensive stat wise, but once the dodge enters the picture, for sure.
Is there? I don't think their turn 2 defense is better than Alhan's turn 2 or second appearance defense. Because his second appearance defense is like over 1 million deep, like 1 mil to like
1 million.
Or are we talking including the dodge?
Even including the dodge, I don't think it's better.
1 million turn 2.
I don't know if I agree with that.
If you put him slot 1, yes, it's going to be worse. But if you're talking about their slot 1 defense to his slot 2 defense on their second appearance, Alhan goes from like 900 to like 1.3 to 4 million.
If he triple supers, sure, because he's probably just like even negging supers at that point, probably.
I mean, I'll work it out quick.
I mean, I just think the argument of the shorter events like Cell and Rose are just a little bit void because I mean I've run the blues and Cell and they've taken like I think from a super attack from first form Cell type disadvantage with guard I guess they've taken like 300k at most. Right, like I don't think that's. I think that they're really close to. They're pretty similar units when it comes to.
Well,
those events.
I mean, if we're talking post like a double or triple super, I could see Ulton taking less than that.
No, he definitely could.
It's just when you factor the dodge, I just feel like it starts to look a lot better.
Exactly. Like avoiding all damage compared to taking. Like I think that'll always be way more valuable.
Like
they are probably better. Yeah.
I can see Ulton post a double or triple super taking only like 150k or something, which is like nothing basically.
Triple super, I think. Well, hold on, let me work out.
Yeah, okay. Rattling duck does bring up a good point in the fact that like Gohan isn't always triple supering. He's not always doing that. Every so often he'll get like a super normal.
Super.
What I would say, Rattling Duck, I would say he's usually double supering.
No, you
Like,
are usually double supering. That is, it's well above average.
yeah. Like his average supers, assuming you get the key for it, is
Which is pretty easy on.
is over 2.
Yeah, which is
If
pretty
you
easy
don't have a
nowadays.
really dumb and shit build like the Truth does, like full dodge, you're double supering most of the time.
Oh no, the full dodge
Yo.
Ultron. Why?
Yeah,
Truth, why?
I mean, the more Gohan ages,
You gave the unit who wants to blitz everything to make the most of his intro turns dodge, and you're surprised why he's not performing that well for you.
he's got. I respect the vision though. Okay, I respect the vision. I guess
worked
with the truth, he just didn't have the foresight. He didn't expect Bulma to be in the game. That's
No,
that's what it
I
was.
think the Truth just like he kind of made his mind up and just thought, yeah, this unit's shit, so I'll give it dodge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how
That's
it
what it
feels
was.
to me too.
It's a little silly, especially nowadays. I'm surprised he doesn't change it up.
When he did that, I was like, "Truth, why?"
Yeah, sure.
To
A lot
loop
of people
back to
probably. Will.
the slot 1 Blues second appearance versus Olhan's, I think. So I worked it out. Olhan is like 811k to about 1.1 million. Like he 2 supers 811k. That's with Bulma and all in the family. They are, I know, I think it's unsupported around 600k on 2 supers, slot 1. They're comparable to Vegeta and Trunks. So he
I can
will
see
have the
that.
highest stats, but because of the dodge, I think you could probably argue it's so marginal. But he's going to be shitting on them offensively, so that turn he's just going to be better than them, like no matter what.
I mean, I'm not against that. I'm not against that.
The turn after that, turn 5, unless you fuse on that turn.
Turn 5, I would
actually,
say turn 5 is like the crucial turn here. It's like the make, because
Yeah.
like I would say if they come out on turn 5, they're just kind of better.
Yeah.
But if they don't come out turn 5 and you have that turn where you just kind of got to pray with them without their intro, I could see Ulton being better than them in a run like that.
I guess when it comes to,
I just feel like the first scenario happens more often than the second one, in my opinion.
yeah, no versus Goku Black, they'll be taking 200k in slot 1. So I guess it's a little unfair comparing like a unit who's meant to be in slot 2 to slot 1 units, because slot 1 units are meant to be like, their whole value is in their slot 1. My whole computer just restarted.